Sup guys, Hokibird here, and this is not the Halo 3 ODST Noob's Guide to Legendary. This is going to be an addendum to that where I show you the locations of all of the audio logs hidden throughout New Mombasa. And not only that, but I actually came up with a route to get them without going too far out of my way from a new save file. So a couple people asked me what they were going to do in my video when I stopped at a superintendent supply cache that they hadn't opened. Well, I figured out that if you collect all the audio logs as you go, you can actually have all those supply caches open as you need them. So this is going to be after Tyree Plaza, and anytime you notice commotion going on throughout the city, like car alarms going off or phones ringing or kiosks spitting out coins, that's how you know that there's an audio log nearby. So here's the first one, and if you look at the signs, the superintendent will actually direct you to it. Alright, 1 down, 28 to go. This is going to be more about audio log locations and not so much combat, because I've already covered all the combat in my Noob's Guide to Legendary, so I'm not going to focus on combat at all, really. Although I am, of course, on Legendary, which you'll notice when you see the strength of the enemies. All I want you to take note of is key locations. So this is the route that I follow in the normal video, and you can see the scene with the brutes and the engineer, and there's actually an audio log here, or at least there will be after I've completed the Uplift Reserve mission. It actually doesn't appear until I've completed that mission. So for now, we're just going to head over here, zoom until we arrive here where the Phantom appears. I'm going to fight off the Phantom, and you can hear the car alarms going off, and there's an audio log in this area. Alright, now that that's taken care of, the audio log is over here in the corner. And that's 2. The next one, the third one, is so close by, I'm not even going to fast forward it. The normal route I would take is to the right there, but if you go straight here, it's right here on your right. Alright, after picking that up, we're going to proceed along the normal route here as I did in the walkthrough until we get to this plaza. You'll notice the Brute Stalker over here on the left, as well as the barriers going up and down. That means there's an audio log nearby. Just assassinate this guy, and then the audio log is inside the tunnel. And that will be enough to actually open the Superintendent Supply Cache that we need at Uplift Reserve, although there's still another audio log we can get here. It's right up the steps over here. I just passed it. And there it is.
Yellow means yield.
So that makes 5. And that's all the audio logs for this section of Mombasa streets, so I'm just going to fast forward it until I get to Uplift. Again, just following the normal route that I did in my walkthrough video. So after the Uplift Reserve mission, head over to the supply cache, which will now be open, and grab yourself a pistol and a sniper rifle, just like I demonstrated in the walkthrough. Lots of audio logs in this section of the city between Uplift and Kazingo Boulevard. In fact, there are 11. And then we can proceed as normal. Alright, now that they're all dead, there is an audio log in this area. If you follow these signs to the south, You'll see them pointing to a hidden doorway here, and the audio log is inside. Alright, now we're just going to head back out. And as you can see by the car alarms going off, there is another audio log in the area. I just looked at it, it's up there inside a hidden doorway. Alrighty, now we're going to proceed as normal, along the normal route in the walkthrough, through this door here, down to the right, until we get to this plaza with the plasma turrets. Going to fast forward through the combat, you've already seen that in the walkthrough. And the audio log is in the very center of the plaza. The next one, we're going to go back to that scene with the brutes and the engineer where we were before. This is the end of Tayari Plaza, except this time the audio log is actually here. And now we're just going to head back to that plaza where we were. But instead of proceeding on from here, there is yet another audio log in the area, as you can see from the car alarms. There's a hidden door over here to the south. If you can't find it, follow the signs. And it's in here, sometimes guarded by a jackal sniper. Now we can head back out and proceed along the normal route in the walkthrough to the supply cache with sniper rifles in it, which will now be open so we can load up on ammo. And just like in the walkthrough, I'm going to go get the shotgun so I can use it against the hunters. Although I don't have the extra ammo this time. I only have half the ammo. More combat here that I'm going to fast forward through. You've already seen this. And you practically can't miss the audio log. The next one is over at the beginning of Tayari Plaza. It's probably one of the more hidden ones in the game, because you have to do some platforming to get up to it. And this, of course, is where you encounter the hunters. But you can actually wait to fight the hunters until after you have the audio log. Sometimes there will be a jackal sniper up here. He's really no big deal, though. And then we have some combat. Okay, so after they're all cleared out, I went through that door on my right that I'm looking at in the walkthrough. If you actually proceed straight and follow this route, which is actually where you go in the Tayari Plaza mission, you can find the audio log right here. So we're taking a little bit of a detour in order to pick up some extra audio logs. For now, just proceed along this path, which is the standard route for Tayari Plaza. And up there where the Jackal Sniper was, there's another audio log. Sign says keep left, so go to the left. Next, we're going to actually head through this door. And we're just going to pass by an audio log location. Now, normally this is marked by like 4 sleeping grunts. And the audio log would be down here on this phone. This one right here that I melee. It's actually not there until you complete the Kazinga Boulevard mission. So we're going to be coming back here. Now that's the door I said that I went through in the walkthrough, but from the other side a couple minutes ago. And we're here at the end of the tank section of Kazinga Boulevard, and there's an audio log on the wall here. It's pretty hard to miss.
Yellow means yield.
And we have one more to pick up here before we begin Kazinga Boulevard. I think it's the most obvious one in the game. It's a giant yellow Opticam kiosk. There's the Kazinga Boulevard Gauss turret, but if you head over here to the right, you'll find the audio log. And that's it for this section of Mombasa Street, so head upstairs and begin the Kazinga Boulevard mission. After the mission, you have your standard dropship in here that comes in and drops off the 2 jetpack brutes and jackal snipers. I'm just going to fast forward this because you've already seen this. And when you come out the door here, you'll notice some car alarms going off that weren't here before because there's an audio log here that wasn't here before. It's inside this door over here on the desk. Alright, now we're going to make the detour back to the audio log that we couldn't pick up earlier. This is following the normal route until we get right about here, and now we're backtracking. Never mind the jackal sniper. Here we are. And the audio log's right here. Now we head back to where we were. Over here to the door, got some brute stalkers and a jackal sniper, same as normal. And inside we have a jackal sniper, an engineer, and brutes. And if you head up the stairs here over to where I like to hide on the Kazinga Boulevard mission, you'll find the audio log. And then you can proceed to clear the rest of them out. And the audio log is in the center here on the lower level. You can head over to the supply cache, which will now be open, and load up on pistol and SMG ammo before proceeding through the tunnel to the Oni Alpha Site mission. Alright, following that mission we have a lot of walking to do and not a whole lot of audio log picking up to do, so there's going to be a lot of fast-forwarded footage here. In fact, I'm just going to fast-forward it until I make it to the supply cache with the rocket launchers in. Everything that you see is exactly as I do it in the walkthrough. And we're finally here. So you can grab a rocket launcher, and you will need it, although not right away, because we're going to make a detour and pick up some audio logs that we wouldn't normally get. So proceed through this door here, the way that I showed in the alternative method for this section of Mombasa Streets. And the audio log that you find out here, you actually won't be able to get it until you complete the Kazinga Boulevard mission. Now we're going to head through this courtyard, out the hidden doorway over here, to the mirror image of the end of Tayari Plaza. And there's another hidden doorway over here. This again looks like the end of Tayari Plaza, but the difference is the debris on the ground. You can find the hidden door over here and the audio log inside. The next one is right across the street. Just head back out to the main road, and you can see it in the distance there.
Pardon our dust.
Now with those two audio logs collected, I'm going to head back to the east to the plaza where I fought the hunter. Just one hunter. That should let you know where it is. Remember this? Surprise, motherfucker. And if you continue to the east, you'll find another audio log over here, and you'll notice me looking around alert because there's often a brute pack over here, but it didn't spawn this time.
Medical assistance. Choose off the cat.
One more to collect for this section of Mombasa Streets. I'm just going to follow the walkthrough route here. And the audio log is at the top of the hill. And that's it for this section of Mombasa Street, so you can head to the sniper rifle that marks the NMPD HQ mission. So after the mission, you have your standard dropship here that comes in and drops off the 2 brute jumpers and 2 jackal snipers. I'm just going to fight them off as I normally do. No ghost over there to the right this time around, which is unfortunate but entirely manageable. You just proceed down here along the normal route and the audio log is pretty hard to miss. The next audio log is in this plaza here, which I believe is the beginning of the Kazinga Boulevard mission. Right over here, halfway up the steps. Alright, only 2 more. First I'm going to stop at the supply cache that I have open and load up on ammo. Going to keep the beam rifle, just load up on pistol ammo. And now we're going to head through the doors to the north. And this is another very obvious audio log. And just like I expected it to be, the supply cache with the rocket launchers is open, so I'm going to grab a rocket launcher here and I'll be able to fight the hunters pretty easily on the road to Data Hive. This is what I called the bus stop in the walkthrough with the 2 jackals. And as soon as you clear out all the enemies in this plaza, we have our final audio log up there, at least our final one for Mombasa Streets. You can head up the stairs over here to the right. And that is all 29 audio logs. The 30th one, as I've covered before, is in Data Hive, so first you have to get to the biofoam canister that marks the start of the Kikawani Station mission, play through the Kikawani Station mission, then fight your way to Data Hive. And then once you're in Data Hive, you're going to proceed with the mission until you get to this icy section here. Because you have all 29 audio logs from the surface, the police officer guy is going to come with you and fight alongside you here with a shotgun. If you're still not sure where this is the only section in Data Hive where you'll find a brute chieftain with a plasma turret.
Trooper, hold up a sec. I gotta check on a little personnel
So
issue.
instead of being murdered by drones, he'll come with you, he'll say that. You have your dialogue here.
Crime scene. Restricted entry.
Shut up, Virgil! You hear me?
Icy conditions. Chains required.
Freaking machine. The whole city's gone to hell. Wait here, watch for hostiles. I'll be back.
Don't mind me, I'm just going back for my shotgun. And then you head through the door, meet up with him, shit goes down, and then the audio log is in the corner.
What are you, stupid? I told you to stay outside. Step away from there. This ain't none of your business. Kinsler gave me real specific instructions. Make sure the doc's dead, and make double sure no one knows about it.
Caution, traveler. Caution.
Sorry, friend. You know way too much.
Crime doesn't pay. Good citizens do their part.
And there you have it. That is all 30 audio logs found throughout the game, and that will get you the audiophile achievement. No previous playthrough necessary, and it can be done on legendary difficulty. So until next time, I'm Hokey Bird, and I'm out. See you later.